And in 2018, we had like a currency crisis because of Trump and this priest in Turkey that was under arrest. And he's like, if you don't give the priest back to us, I'll put some tariffs on the steel industry,
Wait,
aluminum
wait, wait,
industry.
wait, wait, wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Did you say Trump and a priest in Turkey?
Yes. So there was this priest called Priest Brans.
You're checking to see if I'm like paying attention. Is this serious? Are you trolling me? Welcome to Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions. I'm your host, Saida Gomez. Today, I'm so happy because this is my very first time interviewing a Bitcoiner from Turkey. Stackmore, welcome. How are you today?
Say that I'm also happy, yeah, to be interviewing with a Swiss person. I never did that before, so or someone from
Ah,
Switzerland. Yeah,
you're welcome. Swiss Canadian to be specific.
yeah,
Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
yes. Let's say I'm Stackmore. I'm on Twitter for a long time. Uh, Bitcoiner since 2017. If we consider the date when you first started buying, but I was introduced to it very early. It took me 6 years to understand or to actually get
Mm.
it. But yeah, I don't know. I live in Turkey. I'm an industrial engineer. I like building stuff and
Very
saving
nice.
money in Bitcoin, basically.
Yep. And it is absolutely gorgeous where you are right now.
Yes, yes. This is a good place. It's like the westest part of Turkey. It's called Çeşme. Right across behind us is actually this island called Chios. It's a Greek
Mhm.
island. It's like half an hour ferry ride. So it's a beautiful
Very
place.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Turkey is on my list of places to visit, and seeing you is like encouraging me a lot. I've got a bit of not FOMO, not jealousy, but I really want to see what you're seeing right now.
No, actually, if you come to Turkey, please contact me. Because we have also like a meetup group here. We do meetups, and you can meet other Bitcoiners as well. Like we had a lot of people visiting us. Especially, I'm in Izmir, but we also have like meetups in Istanbul, and Istanbul had a lot of like, yeah, foreign Bitcoiners visiting us because it's like a easy place to reach and all that stuff. But yeah, if you want, yeah, if you come over here, please let me know ahead, and we'll try
I
to
will
have a good Bitcoin quality time.
most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. So, as you know, on Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions, the goal is to get through 21 questions in 10 minutes. One person managed to do that, Flo Montoya. I think I mentioned her at the beginning of every episode because she totally blew my mind. And oftentimes, because we get passionate about things, we take our time and we really, I guess, give more detailed responses. So you play it however you like. I'll read the first question before starting the timer. The timer is here, set to 10 minutes. And voila. Do you have any questions for me before we start?
Maybe would it, I don't know, if it would be possible to put up timer on the recording, that would make life really good.
Oh,
I don't know if it's possible
that
though.
that is such a good and obvious idea. I don't know with Riverside what's available. Um, so
Maybe we
I've
can
clicked
look in.
on
But
media.
I'll also have my timer on. I don't want to steal the spotlight from Floya Montoya, but yeah.
Oh, oh, you are here to play. I like it.
No, no, no.
I'll be on my toes so I can like, give you the nice assist passes. So I don't know on Riverside if this option is available. I've got people, chat, brand, text, and media. And the media is really like sound clips. So I'm gonna close that out.
Yes.
And I don't know if I want to
Perfect.
share my screen.
No, no, it's okay. I don't know if it's possible either, but there's also like a timer on the recorder, so I can use that.
Yeah. Okay. So I will read the first question and then hit the timer. So, first question, are you ready?
Yes, I also hit my timer. Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, after the first
Yes.
question. Okay, I'll ask quickly. Ready. What is it like to live through currency debasement?
Start. Yes. You know that chat meme? There's this meme just says yes.
Yes.
We always had currency debasement in Turkey. Like they tried to, you know how the US tries to keep the inflation at 2.5%. In Turkey, we try
Mm-hmm.
to keep it at single digits.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, we have been to 75%, up to 75%, and this was the official government numbers, which are not real. There's a group of economists that calculate this, and they find it like nearly twice. So yeah, we actually have a currency debasement. Yeah, for me, it's okay because if the currency debases, my Bitcoin doesn't debase. So yeah, and I know we do farming and we have I know cows and this and that. They also don't debase. So I don't save in Turkish lira at all. Like, or I don't save in any fiat currency or any other asset. So for me, it's okay, but it's shocking like to see that every time you get a new price, you are like, okay, well, yeah. You get surprised. You eat the same sandwich that you ate, let's say, 2 months ago, and it's a complete different price. So it's surprising.
Wow. More people need to live that to understand, I think.
Yes.
Where is the best place to vacation in Turkey in the summer?
Okay. So I'm from Çeşme, İzmir. Izmir is the big city. Çeşme is a smaller town, and I really like this place. It's not very touristic for internationals. Like it's more like locals come here, but also a lot of people from Istanbul and other places in Turkey are visiting here in the last 10 years. Before it, it was like a very beautiful place, like few visitors, prices were rather cheap, but with the
Hmm.
influx of Istanbul tourists and finding it cheap here, everything became more expensive and blah blah blah. But this place doesn't have the best nature. However, it has really good seas and I like it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll say
I love the
Çeşme
beach.
just because I'm biased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the best Bitcoin educational resource available in Turkish?
Okay, so n- not a lot actually. We have this group 21, which is a spin-off of the German 21 meetup slash podcast group. We have a website, we do some translations there, and we also do a podcast. I would say, yeah, it's the best one out there at the moment. I hope to
Very
see
nice.
more come out. I
Share the
also,
links with me and I'll include them
yes,
in the show notes.
I also did like some uh, book summaries, Bitcoin book summaries. They were okay. I'm not like a really good video person.
Hmm.
And we did some interviews with other Bitcoiners and Bitcoin projects. They were decent, I guess, but yeah, I'll share the links.
Yeah. Legendary Turkish shooting Olympian Yusuf Dikec. I don't know if
Yes.
I'm pronouncing his name properly. He won silver with minimum gear.
Uh-huh.
Is that how Turkish shooting athletes usually compete, or is he a Bitcoiner who prefers to save and stack sats?
I wish it was the letter for me to answer. Like I was like, I wish he, yeah, did it to save sats. But first of all, he has a military background, and in
Ah,
military they teach to shoot with two eyes open so that you have a bigger, wider, range of sight. But the thing is that I listened to an interview of him the other day. Literally before the competition, the trigger mechanism of his gun broke, and he
Oh,
didn't have
wow.
a secondary gun. And to get the trigger, it was like he had to wait for like couple weeks because it's a very sensitive, important part. So he went to this late milling place and he tried to get a metal part carved out, and people didn't want to do it because it was a small part and blah blah blah. But eventually, a friend of his found someone that could do it. But it's crazy though, like the he like unfortunately these are amateur sports in Turkey and you don't really make a lot of money. Even though
Hmm.
he's been like a fourth or five-time Olympian, yeah, he still doesn't even have a secondary gun to shoot with.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, that's why he had to wait, or he had to get the trigger made in the industry zone. Yeah, so that he could keep on training. But I don't think he didn't wear gear because he couldn't afford it or whatever. But mainly it was because, yeah, he isn't used to shoot with the gear. He feels I don't feel comfortable. I just like to shoot with my both eyes open, and I trained like that my whole life. So that's it.
Legend.
Yeah. And fun fact, not at the finals, but I think in the elimination rounds, they broke the world record with his partner.
It gets better.
Yeah.
Legend. He needs a sponsor.
Yes. It's like
Okay,
John Wick
how
and his cat.
go ahead.
John Wick and his cat. No, he has a cat, so they were saying maybe we'll do a spin-off of John Wick, but Dikec with his cat.
I'd watch that. I love John Wick. I would so
Yeah.
watch that. How are you orange pilled?
I got orange pilled. I some person from Sweden tried to orange pill me in 2011. He was actually very successful because, like, I don't know, have some, I was grown with some Bitcoiner mentality stuff, like from my young age. So when he tried to explain Bitcoin, it made sense because, like, I'm not a fan of the government. I don't like the schooling system and all that stuff already. So in 2011, I was playing this game, and he's like, "Oh, there's this thing called Bitcoin. It's like the future of the money. It's like money without governments." And I'm like, "Okay, that sounds interesting." But I tried to mine and I couldn't. So it was the first attempt to get me orange pilled. And then in 2013, I had some also interest, but didn't buy it because, well, I'm stupid. Uh,
Oh,
sometimes
don't
stupid.
say that.
No, no, no. It's okay. Uh, in 2017, a group of friends of mine and we were talking, and we had this referendum in Turkey, a big referendum.
Mhm.
And it was for the president to get extra powers, like so he could control everything. Before that, the prime minister just had like mainly his duty was to veto or not. But after the referendum, he was going to have ultimate powers. So it was actually the opposite of decentralization. It was like a centralization stuff. And my friends and I, we talked, and I'm like, we don't want this guy to rule our money. So we should look at different assets. And then we
Yeah.
came up with
Hmm.
Bitcoin. So it was a good, like, my orange pillar is the president of the country.
Well done.
Thank you, president. you know,
What's your take on Tether?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you for me. It's once you understand Bitcoin, you don't care about Tether because I don't like fiat, and Tether is based off fiat. So yeah, you can't build like a castle on a bad foundation, to begin with.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Tether is used a lot in Turkey, and it's mainly used by illegal gamblers.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a lot of non-legal gambling, and they all use Tether. And other than that, I don't think I've seen someone accept Tether or get paid with Tether. Yeah.
Interesting. When were you orange pilled?
Properly, okay, I said 2011 was the attempt, but my exact orange pilling aha time was March 2018. It was a Blockstack, conference that had Nick Szabo, Edward Snowden as a speaker, but over the video, obviously,
Yeah.
and Elizabeth Stark. So before I went there, actually, a good friend of mine. Oh, I already lost
Yeah.
it. No, I wasn't. Yeah.
It's okay. I
It's
was I was going to ask you actually a follow-up question on Tether, but then I'm like, no, I checked the clock and it was like 30
okay.
seconds left and I'm like,
Okay,
don't do
since
that.
we are over, the only way for me to do it in 10 minutes was to say yes to every question, and yeah. And then I would be like, yes, but and I would still be going 10 minutes.
I think for most Bitcoiners, it's impossible. It's very difficult to even answer one question in 10 minutes, never mind
Yes,
21.
yes, yes. I did good. We went through
You
four
did well.
questions nearly. So
Yeah. Hold on, you got through one, two, three, four, five, six, seven
oh,
questions.
oh,
That's pretty
not
good.
bad. 1.5 minutes per question is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, so it was the Blockstack conference, and before I went, it was in Berlin. Before I went there, yeah, a friend of mine said, "Okay, if you read the shelling out and summarize it for the rest of our group, I'll give you some satoshis." It was like he's like proof of work. And I read
Very
Nick
nice.
Szabo's article before that, and was really good. And right before Nick Szabo's, I got a present to. I bought a present for Nick Szabo. It was like a glass jar with seashells inside, and I
Mm.
actually gifted it to him and gave him a. So in Turkey we do double kiss cheeks, and it's not gay or anything. It's like man, and I
Yeah.
think to him, we did the double kiss, and it was like so awkward. He's like, but he ended up changing his presentation and edit some parts from the shelling out and all that stuff. It was very cool. And then I listened to Elizabeth Stark talking about
Mhm.
Lightning because my biggest concern on Bitcoin was the scalability issues.
Yeah, of course.
And then, yeah, once I realized that not just Lightning, but there could be layer two solutions and there will be layer two solutions that will help scale, then I was like, okay, we don't need anything else. Yeah.
Very nice. I backtracking on Tether. So the last week was Heritage Faladin, who's based in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, and so I've never used Tether, and the discussion is always polarized, I find. Either people absolutely hate it because they buy treasuries and it's supporting the current system that, Bitcoin eliminates, or they say that in regions where their currency is super debased or they need access to US dollars, Tether is a super useful tool. So, as you know, the Turkish lira does not maintain its purchasing power. I thought it'd be interesting to ask you your take on Tether and how you navigate within a context where the currency actually debases.
Yeah, so I mean, in Turkey, it's the difference is in Turkey, it's not that hard to access dollars.
Yeah,
So Tether still has an advantage because there's a big wide gap when you are doing direct buys from the banks. There's like yeah, there's a gap between your buying and purchasing prices up to like 3% at some point. So in that
yeah,
sense, Tether makes sense if you want to use it as like, yeah, that. And at some point, the Turkish government was taxing every dollar purchased 2% and every sale 2%. And during that time, Tether was, yeah, Tether made sense because you didn't have to pay the 4%. But
yeah.
not people don't really use it for that, in my opinion. Like, yeah, but Okay, so my idea is I know Turkish lira is rug pulling us constantly,
Yeah.
but I know that the dollar is also getting rug pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so for people who save in the dollar in countries like Turkey and stuff, it's like getting rug pulled twice, in my opinion. So once you understand Bitcoin, you don't want to deal with the dollar or whatever. But I like that Tether has the treasuries and it has good interest income from the treasuries, and because it can use that money to buy Bitcoin. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't
Everything
like
is
the
so
guy.
nuanced.
I don't like the person that Tether has in Turkey. He's like a shitcoiner. You
Oh dear.
Yeah, have like 500,000 followers or something. I guess that's why. Yeah, they chose him, but he's like a shitcoiner in spirit. He, yeah, I don't know. It's funny. He DMs cringe stuff to people because I challenged him once, and he's like, "Oh, I have thousands of bitcoins and this and that, and I will do much more important things for the world than Bitcoin can do," and stupid things like that. I don't know. It's like a very narcissistic, interesting guy that I don't like. Anyhow,
And
and I'm
Bitcoin's
very,
for everyone, Bitcoin's for anyone. So
yes, yes. But I, anyhow, I don't like affinity scammers, to be honest. So,
yeah, me neither. Okay, so what is it like to live in such a rich and culturally diverse country?
ah, I like it
Yeah.
because I mean, I like people in general, and I respect people's cultures and all that stuff. Like, not like the recent wokeism, like, but
Is
yeah.
that in Turkey as well?
Not really, really, but yes. So, it's always like uh, one of the political parties that I don't like. I don't like any of the political parties here, but like the one who's currently running is really anti-wokeism, which is good, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't like them because yeah, they are like big crony capitalists and all that stuff, blah blah blah. And the other one, I don't like them either. Uh, but yeah, they are. Yeah, I like them political parties to change constantly. By the way, but they support wokeism more, which I'm not a fan of. Like or
Yeah.
Green Deals, wokeism, and blah blah blah. So yeah.
Yep. I hear that. How have Turkish markets reacted to the yen carry trade implosion?
Well, I let's not talk about the yen carry trade. Let's talk about the Turkish lira carry trade because
Oh, yes, yes.
yes,
Tell me
yes.
more.
Yeah, currently, I don't know. Would you like to open a Turkish lira USD graph on your screen so you can see?
Would I like to?
For you to see. So, okay, let's say do max in
Yes. Oh, I
let's
should have prepared this. Oh, yeah, okay, I see that.
let's do let's do 5 years, okay?
Okay.
So in let's say the time between 2022 and May 2023, it was kind of stable
Yeah, I see that.
because we had elections coming. And
Ah.
after that, yeah, it skyrocketed, like lost 50% of its value. And then recently, if you look from since the beginning or since, let's say, September 2023 till now, it's somewhat stable. It's not increasing extremely because so Turkish,
Somewhat.
yeah, so this
It's
is
less flat than in the previous period you mentioned,
yes,
but I see what you say by somewhat stable.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is that Turkish Central Bank raised the interest rates super fast to over 50%, at to 50%. So literally when you get 50% plus interest from your money in a year. So, and this is
Not 50 basis points, actually 50%.
percent, yes.
Wow.
Yes. So this is what happens. So let's say you are in Switzerland, and let's say you go to your bank and you can borrow with what percent at the moment, do you know?
I don't know what it
2.5.
is at the moment. I don't know, maybe 2.5 or 3%.
Let's say 2.5. So you
Mm-hmm.
borrow Swiss francs, you take that money to Turkey, you put it into
Yeah.
interest, and you pray for Turkish lira not to lose value. But
Mm-hmm.
as long as it doesn't, you make money and you can repay your debt and you get free money. Yeah, so a lot of people are doing this. So this is also the carry trade they are doing with the Turkish lira at the moment. However,
Okay.
after the Japanese carry trade implosion, let's say last 1 month, okay, open the graph last 1 month,
Yeah.
the Turkish lira started to lose value a little faster. I think
Mm-hmm.
because people started to get worried of
Yeah.
losing their money off the carry trade, because if the Turkish lira lost 50% of value, like right after the election time in 2003, they would lose a lot of money, and they would have a lot of debt that they have to pay on.
Mm-hmm.
And which this happened also in 2018, and we call this carry traders in Turkey the Japanese housewives, or actually it's, I think, a global term. No, because a lot of Japanese housewives would get zero interest rate credit and put it into Turkish lira. And in 2018, we had like a currency crisis because of if the, if political stuff with Trump and this priest in Turkey that was under arrest, and he's like, if you don't give the priest back to us, I'll put some tariffs on the steel industry,
Wait,
aluminum
wait,
industry.
wait, wait, wait, wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Did you say Trump and a priest in Turkey?
Yes. So there was this priest called Priest Brunson.
You're checking to see if I'm like paying attention. Is this serious?
No, I'm really not bullshitting.
Are you trolling me? Like, okay, I'm gonna
No,
have to
I'm not
Google this
trolling
and
you.
research it.
No, please do.
Wow.
I will send you the receipts. So okay, I'll tell you
Yes,
this.
please.
There was this priest called Priest Brunson. He was a priest in my hometown actually. And the Turkish officials thought he was spying on behalf of America. So they arrested him. And Trump said, if you don't give the priest back to us, I'll put some tariffs on the steel and the aluminum industry, and as well as other industries from imports from Turkey and blah, blah, blah. And the Turkish president said, you'll get that priest over my dead body. But after the tariffs were approved, he sent the priest back. But in the meantime, the Turkish lira open to year 2018.
Hold on.
Okay.
My mind is just being blown right now. 2018, so 5 years.
Let's say,
20. Oh no, max, sorry.
no.
Okay, so
So
2018, yeah.
let's say
Oh yeah, there's a little
July.
bump just after
Yes, that
2018.
bump is the
Yeah.
priest's bump. Okay, I don't know if it was the right way to say this. Oh,
I'm not going to edit this either. This is going to stay as it is. The priest bump. Okay.
you can name the title of the video the priest bump if you.
Oh, that's good. You know, I suck at thumbnails and coming up with titles, and so it will be the priest bump. Thank you. And I
Okay,
don't
and
have a pen to write it down.
thumbnails say that could be the one that we are like laughing to the side, both of us.
The priest bump.
Oh God! See, how am I? How am I supposed to finish this in 10 minutes?
Oh, that ship has sailed. We've given up.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be like, okay, with this guy, we shot an episode for 3 hours, and it's the longest one.
Priests, Trump, the priest bump.
Yeah. It's funny. Okay, I sent you some links of about the priest bump
On X?
on the chat here. I can also
Oh, on
send.
the chat. Okay. No, it's cool. Okay, I'll look at it after we finish recording
He
on the priest
even
bump.
wrote a
I will
book.
include links for the audience
He
so that
even
they
wrote
can
a book.
ah?
He wrote a book actually on his stuff, so called God's Hostage. I just found out about it.
And it's
Anyhow.
available in English as well.
Oh yeah. He's
Okay.
American, so
Okay.
okay.
And that is from the yen carry trade implosion. So the discussion journey. Yen carry trade implosion, the lira carry trade, Trump and the priest bump.
No, Japanese housewives.
Oh yeah, Japanese housewives. I forgot that.
Priest bump destroying the Japanese housewives, basically.
Destroying Japanese housewives. I'm writing that down.
Oh man.
That is epic. The things we learn. Okay, next question. How do you say not your keys, not your coins in Turkish?
Yani senin anahtarın değilse senin Bitcoin'in değildir.
Can you say that slowly so I can try to repeat
Ya
it,
da
please?
okay. Okay, I'll make a simpler one. Anahtarın
Anahtarın,
anahtarın
anahtarın
yoksa
yoksa
Bitcoin'in
Bitcoin'in
yoktur.
yoktur.
Evet. So this basically is if you don't have the keys, you don't have the Bitcoin. But I think it's
Not
it's
your
a good
keys.
one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll replay this in practice.
Yes.
So that when I'm in Turkey at a meetup, I'll be like,
Yes.
"Hi, I'm Saida," and I'll
Anahtarın
say
yoksa
it.
Bitcoin'in yoktur.
So your Twitter
Sayda,
profile says,
question. Are you
yes, yes.
available? Okay, would you like to visit us in Turkey in September 8th?
Maybe, but my daughter just started school and we have all the WhatsApp groups that have just opened this week. She started on Monday, and there are a lot of things for the parents to attend. So I have to field through the schedule to see what my personal availability is because my time is not my time.
Yes, of course. You have a shared calendar, basically with
Oh, yes, we do. We schedule
yes.
everything.
No, because we have this event in my city in Izmir. So we have a good Bitcoiner group here. Not like too big, but we became good friends too. And there's Ayşegül. She is so her daughter found Aynu Zwanzik. And then shared it with Ayşegül, and Ayşegül became a really good Bitcoiner at the age of 73. And
that's so cool.
and so she is retired, and 4 women, they live in Turkey, and they have these 4 houses there, and they also have extra 8 bedrooms where people can stay. And yeah, she's going to host an event. We'll have music and talk about Bitcoin and this and that. So will be a good time. I'll send you the
Yeah, please do. And are all so we've totally broken the rules to the concept of this podcast, but is like your
like
personality
to be ungovernable.
Yeah. Like is your personality unique, or is this part of Turkish culture to be so open and friendly, and it's just
Well,
it's a very pleasant exchange. We're meeting each other for the first time and I feel very comfortable.
I'm okay, I'm a friendly person. Yeah, like my girlfriend, for example, doesn't really like that. I know that stuff,
Oh,
but
okay,
I'm
that's fair.
generally a very friendly person. And Turkish people were known for their hospitality.
Hmm.
Because like even if you, let's say, if you are in the eastern part of Turkey and you knock on someone's door and you say, I'm lost here, I don't have a place to stay, they open their house to you sometimes.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, actually I had a very interesting story. Like this happened in Germany, in Hanover. So I was working with this German company and there was this Hanover Messe. And I had a hotel uh, room booked by the company. But I arrived to the hotel at like, I don't know, 3 in the morning because my flight
Oh,
was
yeah.
late and blah, blah, blah. And they gave my room to someone else. And this taxi driver who took me to the hotel went to use the bathroom in the hotel. And on the way out, he asked me, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, he was Turkish, by the way. And I'm like,
Okay.
no, not really. They gave my hotel to some a room to someone else, and he's like, okay, well, okay, if you want, you can stay in my house tonight. My wife cooked for me, so when we go home, we can have like a dinner and this and that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And my friends were like, oh, you're crazy that you are staying in some random people's house. And I'm like, I don't care, you know. Uh, Anyhow, so we had a nice dinner, went to sleep. He prepared this bed in the living room for me. And in the morning, he took me to a soup place in his neighborhood. We had like our good morning soup, and he drove me all the way to the exhibition, and he didn't accept my money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was he saved my day because the exhibitions are tiring. You have to be up all day, and it
Yeah,
was good. Yeah.
that's
So
very nice. Well, all the more reason for me to make plans.
yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, your Twitter profile says no trading, stack and hodl, only Bitcoin.
Yes.
Why don't you trade? Why aren't you an active trader?
Technically, that's a lie. No, no, because everything is a trade.
This is true. This is
Like this
100%
is a
true.
trade. This is a trade.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. But and like because of my job, I have to buy parts and this and
Hmm.
that, and it's also a trade. Like timing it and this.
Hmm.
Everything in life is trade. So what I want to maximize is doing my job, the trade part of my job, good, or my life, trade my life in a good way, my time, and not to deal with any other assets. Yeah. So the only thing I like to do is to trade my time well and save it in Bitcoin, basically. So,
Yeah, as
but I
opposed to
mean,
playing
this
the
is like a
markets.
deeper explanation for a newbie. That should, yeah, that was a message for newbies. Like, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lie if I say I don't trade. Everything you do is a trade.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, excuse me. In your opinion, who is the biggest closeted Bitcoiner?
This is a hard one. I want to say Putin.
Okay, I didn't see that coming at all.
I don't know. I just had that
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it
And
makes sense.
why?
They have a lot of flared gas and energy, and they are sanctioned, and they don't like yeah. I yeah, maybe, or BRICS.
That would make sense. I mean, he has all the incentives to be a
Yeah.
Bitcoiner, but he's not going to sing it from the rooftops.
Mm-hmm. Just
Yep.
I don't know.
So actually, this is good because politics. Will the political discussion on Bitcoin that's happening in the US influence the Turkish government or its leaders?
Yes, because they are the reserve currency at the moment, so whatever they do influences everything,
Yeah.
basically.
Yep. Next
Like,
question. Oh, go ahead.
no. Let's do next question. We talked about
Oh.
the impacts of the government enough. So.
Okay. WTF happened in 1971.
Debasement happened. And debasement always happened through history, like the Roman Empire collapsed because of debasement. They used to shave the monies and make it less gold. And in 1971, Nixon made a speech how that on August 15, 1971, Richard Nixon said, okay, we are not going to be related with the gold anymore. We'll just print money. So that happened. And debasement always ends up in collapsing of empires. Always did. So
Yeah, it's just a question of time.
I mean, everything will collapse in time. So everything is about time. If you
Yeah.
debase or not, you'll still collapse because
Yeah. You mentioned this earlier, but it's still one of the questions. Where do you see inflation the most? So food, transportation, housing.
housing, and you know why? Not rents is the most, and meat, because
Yeah.
okay, there's a good answer to this. The reason why we see the most inflation in rental units is because the Turkish government had this genius idea of price controlling rents. So
Oh.
homeowners were allowed to increase the rents up as much as the inflation value. So if the inflation is 75%, I'm paying 10,000 Turkish liras, my landlord could make it 17,500. But the genius was they said we'll cap it with 25%. So my landlord could only increase it up to 12,500. And people, so if I try not to leave the house and the landlord tries to kick me out, it is a really hard process for him. It takes like 6 or 7 years to kick someone out.
Years.
Yes, it's really hard, like from the point of view of the landlord. So people suffered a lot, and so let's say if you are not allowed to increase your rent, and if you have a spare place, then you start to overcharge it.
Yeah.
So price controls, and since they are retards and they don't think of secondary effects of economics, they forgot about this, I guess. And so new housing price, the rental unit prices increased by 150% because people tried to, uh, yeah, get the payment ahead because they couldn't increase it. And same happened with meat, because I know this in detail because we also my family is in the dairy business. So before the elections in 2023, they really pressured down the milk prices because milk is in a lot of goods and it impacts the inflation. So once they pressured down the milk prices, dairy farmers had to slaughter their cows because it would cost more to feed them to get the milk yield than what they get for the milk. I know that some farmers slaughtered their cows with, that were pregnant for 5 months. This results in less calves, so less male and female calves, and which results in a lack of meat.
Yeah.
And it skyrocketed the meat prices. So, yeah,
The
second
road to
order of
hell is
effects in
paved with good
economics is important.
intentions.
Yeah. And it's funny, same Kamala is announcing the same stuff for America right now, and I wish more people knew about this.
Because, I mean, on paper, ideas can sound so wonderful, but we don't factor in human action. I mean, if I'm renting, obviously I'm going to devise a way to protect myself because yes, I am renting, but that also represents my time, that represents
Mhm,
my energy, that represents savings, that represents opportunity cost and sacrifice,
mhm.
and all the things I had to do throughout my life in order to get to a place where I could have property to rent. And, as good intentioned as I am, I just want to make sure that I'm okay, that my family's okay. And if this becomes a liability that I need to carry, that's extra time away from my family. Like, I mean, it's wow. And I saw too that there's this thing about raising capital gains taxes to like 45%
Yeah, yeah.
and taxing, I think,
Unrealized
25% on
gains.
unrealized gains. Wow.
Yeah, it destroys the whole incentive to save, basically.
Yeah.
The dollar is already good at that, so people buy things instead of saving.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. What's your definition of a shitcoin?
A shitcoin is hmm, it's a marketing gimmick
Mm,
of something that starts with high, yeah, like promises.
yeah.
Yeah, promises that are pushed by marketing gimmicks. Let's say that. A lot of the things are like dollar is a shitcoin for me, and I call it's like fiat, and I call it shiat. I call fiat currency shiat currency. So that's my gift to the English language. I
Shot.
think.
Okay, so your website, Bitcoin only. So Bitcoin
That's not
hyphen
my
only.
website.
Oh, I thought it was your website.
Everybody thinks so. I like the website and I share it, but that's not my
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
Okay, well, the website, which is Bitcoin hyphen only, is filled with free learning resources. Where should someone who is new to Bitcoin start when they visit the website?
It's been a while since I visited that website. But I think Bitcoin education is really important and we have some decent tools. I'm always a big fan of my first Bitcoin diploma course.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love to see it in more places. I don't know, maybe you could do like a small referendum in your canton to teach it in schools. That would be cool. I like this company, Wiser. They also do a really good job on teaching.
Oh, they have
And
the app, right?
yes, yes, they have
Yeah.
the app. It's pretty cool. Also, the fun fact, Sailor.org has Bitcoin courses.
Yeah, I did. I completed, I think it's like the
Intro.
basic Bitcoin course where they talk about economics and stuff. I did that a few
Mhm.
years ago. And
Stefan Rivera.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then from time to, and they also reference Andreas Antonopoulos in the course.
Yes.
And from Mastering Bitcoin, when they talk about like the different types of nodes and stuff,
hmm
that's one of the pages for Mastering Bitcoin. And I started Bitcoin for developers, and it's something that I revisit from time to time.
Fun fact. Sailor started buying Bitcoin, and I started to dig in. Who is this guy? What's his intentions and blah blah blah. And then I saw Sailor.org, and I tweeted like a couple days after he started buying Bitcoin. Well, you guys should start teaching on Bitcoin. And the manager of Sailor.org, Jeff Davidson, said, "Oh,
Hmm.
what should we teach there?" And then, yeah, I'm like, "Oh, basic Bitcoin stuff and this and that." And that's how it started, actually.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yes. Yeah, it's like the butterfly effect. You flap your wings, and Jeff Davidson sees it, and he puts it on Sailor.org, and you take the course, and I take the course. So,
You've given us Shet and Bitcoin courses on Sailor.org. Thank you.
yes. And the priest bump.
And the priest. Oh my gosh, I cannot forget the priest. The priest bump. Okay, how would the Turkish economy evolve if Turkey were on a Bitcoin standard?
I think education is still the key here.
Yeah.
First of all, first of all, I don't want the government to hoard Bitcoin because whatever the government saves, it's for governmental use. It's not for the public. I,
Hmm.
for me, the actual Bitcoin standard is once a good amount of people understand what Bitcoin actually is and how it could benefit them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so if we can manage to teach people about Bitcoin, then would benefit the country like Wakanda or El
Like
Salvador.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so again, I've never been to Turkey, but from what my husband has told me and many people have told me, it is such a saturated region in terms of international trade, all the
Yes.
shipping boats and everything that goes in. And in my imagination, I think it would be so incredible if all of these trades, like you were mentioning before, were to take place in Bitcoin. Like, how would that change,
It would
even from a
change.
retail consumer level?
No, by the way, when you think of Turkey from a geographical point of view, like for example, Napoleon said if the world had one capital, it would be Istanbul.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat correct because Turkey is like the country itself is like a natural bridge from Middle East, North Africa to Europe. So
Yeah.
a lot of movement happens there. And I think Turkish economy would collapse a long time ago, but Turkish people have this gold saving culture.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes, like for example, let's say, oh, I'll give you another gem.
Here we go.
I don't know if it's too much this time, but it's too many gems at one point. But for example, when you when you have a wedding, the guests always give you gold, for example, and yeah, gold has been engraved in the Turkish culture for a very long time because Lydia, the first place that started coinage, uh, is also in Turkey, like 3 hours away
What?
from here, right where I'm at. So yeah, we have a long gold heritage, and a lot of people save their gold in their houses or whatever. So, and
Yeah.
okay, the jam part is coming. So this was 2020 Miami conference. No, 2021 Miami conference, and we were together with Rockstar Dev, Ben Carman, Gigi, and all that stuff on the beach. Jack Mullers after he made the announcement of El Salvador, and we are talking, and we were talking about circumcision.
Circumcision?
Yes, circumcision.
As one would do when on a beach in Miami. Okay.
Yes, yes. No, no, no, no. There's a longer story because we had a wedding that night, a fake BTC Pay server wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a, and Ben Carman, we are talking about if, for example, someone, uh, Christian marrying or someone from Europe marrying like a Muslim or a Jewish person should get circumcised. It was some drunk talk, like I don't remember the exact spot how it started. But Gigi is like, no, circumcision is bad, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, Gigi, you know how I got my first Bitcoin? He's like, how? Well, I got circumcised. And when I got circumcised, at a young age, all my family friends gave gold. And when I grew
Oh.
up, I sold that gold and bought Bitcoin. And
Oh,
that
I
night,
see.
like 4 in the morning, Gigi tweeted, sell the tip, buy the dip.
That is another gem. Sell the tip, buy the dip.
Oh, that was that was that the whole wedding was like the high priest was the rockstar dev. Yeah. Oh, that was yeah, we had such a good time. It's Bitcoin conferences. I didn't go to one this year and I really missed them. Yeah, there's always good
They're
times.
good. I went to Lugano last October and I went to Madeira in March. And
Uh-huh.
it's true, like the presentations are great and stuff, but just the people you meet and the types of conversations you have are, it's everything. Like, to me, that's the value of the
Yes.
conferences.
No, I mean, I can always listen to the presentations over the video,
Yeah.
and the pleb time is the most important time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Made
But I
made really
mean,
good
this,
friends at conferences and
yeah, the your story, sell the tip, buy the dip. It's very comical, but it's so deep at the same time. It is,
yes.
yeah. I didn't know that
Oh,
about Turkey. I knew about India and the gold culture.
yes.
My family's from Trinidad and Tobago, and so there's a very high percentage of, uh, yeah, we
In
still say Indians, people
yeah,
directly from India, and so that gold culture has obviously permeated into Trinidad and Tobago, and there are gold mines there and stuff. So I didn't realize that it's the same in Turkey as well.
it's big in Turkey. It's well, because it's like such an old civilization. Mesopotamia region,
Yeah.
south, east of Turkey, is the cradle of humanity. It's like between two rivers, and like yeah, the humanity kind of started there, and a lot of trade happened, and so gold has been important.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the bonus question, which I wrote before having a discussion with you. It is so easy, but for new people who may stumble upon this podcast, what does 3.125 represent?
Okay, so Bitcoin uh, incentivizes people to mine. And when it first started, it was if you found a Bitcoin block, if you so like if you were the person to say that these transactions are valid and you can do it by doing some calculations on your computer, you would get 50 Bitcoin rewards. But since we have 21 million Bitcoin, uh, and Bitcoin is going to run till 2000, mining will run till 2140 year, the reward had to be decreased. So every 4 year we have these halvings. So in 2012, when the reward was 25, 2016 it became 12 and a half, 2020 it became 6.25, and now we are at 3.125. So approximately every 4 year, 210,000 blocks, yeah, the reward decreases. So this is the annotation to that.
Yep, the 3.125 epoch. This is the second last question. How
Uh-huh.
is Bitcoin adoption in Turkey?
Bad.
Really? With the history of
Yes.
gold, with inflation that's just, like just so high, it's bad. I would have expected the opposite.
Well, like a lot of the traditional people hold the gold.
Yeah.
New generation goes after the shit coins
Yeah.
with the hopes of 100x's, 1000x's, or whatever. So few people, more and more people are understanding Bitcoin, uh,
Hmm.
but it's not that fast because people really, the young generation is doing a lot of gambling online and all that stuff, like, and, and this is also like the unfortunately exchanges have become casinos
Yeah. Yeah, it
because
sells. There's the
yeah.
marketing, it's sexy, like,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. That's why I hate like influencers. I hate that there are not really any decent Bitcoin influencers in Turkey. Like,
Mm, yeah.
yeah.
I reckon Bitcoin is really Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
Gold boomers, they had like a huge, they have big numbers in terms of their demographics. A lot of boomers, like my dad, gold. Gen X, the like quiet generation, everyone forgets about Gen X. Just stable, consistent, working. not huge social media followings in general. You participate because you have to, but you just do your thing. And
Yeah.
then the shitcoins is like millennials and Gen Z who are just all over the place.
I think millennials are also in Bitcoin, and some Gen Zs are in Bitcoin because, like, some uh, late millennials and early Gen Zs have had a spoiled life. They had a lot of things really easy, even in Turkey as well. So, and
Yeah.
things are getting harder. So, later Gen Zs are becoming more aware of things. So,
Yep. Yep. And the last question. Who would you most like to see orange pilled?
probably like a friend of mine who is still not orange pilled.
Mm,
I did a really good job, but some friends are stubborn, so I would like one because like I don't care. People will eventually get orange pilled,
yeah.
So I would like my friends to benefit from this ahead of other people. So
Yeah. I feel the same. Like we're all like coming up together kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Wonderful. Well, that's 21 questions. Thank you so much, Stackmore. Can you tell people where they can find you on social media, on Nostr, elsewhere?
Yes, yeah, I'm on Twitter and on Nostr. It's 1971 bubble at 1971 bubble, and on Nostr it's the same. So yeah,
Very nice.
and yeah, that's it. I think that's the only places you can find me.
Very nice. And if you're in Turkey at a Bitcoin meetup eventually.
Ah, yes, yes. On meetup.com, I'll send it to you. I'll send the
Okay.
link to our meetup stuff.
So I'll
Good.
include that
Well,
as
it was
well.
very nice meeting you.
I appreciate all the gems. The
Yeah.
priest bump is like I will
Yeah.
never forget the priest bump.
You'll be like the end of the Titanic.
Yeah.
And the woman is like, it was 2024, and I learned about the priest.
Exactly.
Thank you for the fun chat, and we'll
Oh,
see
thank
each
you.
other in a
Yep.
conference or somewhere.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.